Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the Bellroy 26 liter Venture Travel Pack, and this is one of the bags that I have been most excited about this year. I've been a big fan of Bellroy's Venture lineup ever since it was released. I really enjoyed bags like their 22 liter top loading day pack, the Venture Sling bag, and then the 26 liter Venture Ready pack was one of my favorite bags that came out last year, so I was very excited when I saw that Bellroy had released this version with the new fabric, updated layout, and a pretty interesting surprise feature, which I wasn't really expecting, and I've had a chance to use it over the past couple of weeks, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to test it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the design here feels pretty similar to the Venture Ready pack that I had previously featured on the channel. And like many of Bellroy's other bags, this has a very modern, minimal appearance that feels like it's going to work well in a lot of different environments. There are some technical elements on the outside. You have some attachment points, there's plenty of pocketing, but it doesn't feel overwhelmingly outdoorsy. It does feel like a bag that's ready for adventure, but because of the more minimal appearance, especially with this updated edition and the fabrics that it has an even sleeker and more techy appearance than the previous iteration of the Venture Pack, and I think it's going to work great for all types of travel as well as exploring a city. As far as the materials, the bag feels really solidly built. This exterior fabric is an element-coated recycled nylon that feels like it's going to hold up really well to rougher usage. Very rugged without feeling overwhelmingly heavy. And it's a little bit more rigid than some of the other nylons that I've seen on Bellroy's bags. And it has this wax resin and polyurethane coating that is going to give the bag a little bit more of a matte finish and also a ton of weather resistance. So it really feels like your stuff is very well protected from the elements here. And then besides that, you have some really nice aqua guarded YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, on the front you have some attachment points that'll work well with a carabiner if you want to clip on a hand sanitizer or something like that. It can also be paired with some third-party straps if you want to attach a jacket, a tripod, a yoga mat, something a little bit larger that won't fit on the inside of the bag. And then you have the blacked out Bellroy logo here in the middle, which I think works well. It's still pretty subtle, it doesn't stand out too much. The bag does only come in black at the time of filming. I'm assuming that may change in the future, but for now, this combo of the blacked out logo with the black exterior works really well. And then at the top of the bag, you have, Bellroy's typical really nice, comfortable handles. It's got kind of this seatbelt-like, really premium feeling nylon. Comes up enough to make it easy to grab if you need to. It's not maybe quite as padded as some of the other handles on the market, but still gets the job done really nicely without coming up too much over the bag and ruining the clean aesthetic. You also have a couple of attachment points next to the handle which work quite well, again, for pairing with a carabiner, with a hero clip or something like that. And then the last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the exterior is whether the bag stands up on its own. And this has been a little bit inconsistent. I was excited because this fabric is a little bit more rigid. The bag can stand up on its own, it's possible, but it will depend a little bit on how things are loaded out. When you open it up, if you're pulling the laptop out and some of the stuff shifts to the front, I have noticed that it can have a little bit of a tendency to tip over, so something to keep in mind. But in general, I do really like that it keeps its structure a little bit more. And then moving into the capacity, as the name implies, the bag comes in at about 26 liters, which is a really versatile size in my opinion. Really like that it's going to be able to carry all the items that I typically have with me on my day-to-day, and it still offers a little bit more space for minimal travel, or if I have a longer day. And then the bag has a really sleek silhouette, manages to stay slim even when it's a little bit more packed out, so it's going to be great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. I like the padding that's been included here in the straps. It feels really comfortable, soft, and premium. It's almost gel-like. On the inside, you have a really soft fabric. It's maybe not quite as breathable as a mesh would be, but still haven't had any issues there. The width of the straps feels a little more narrow than I would like to see for a bag of this size. It's felt pretty good, but as I've really packed it out and worn it for a longer period of time, I've noticed that you can start to feel a little bit of fatigue. And then you also have an adjustable sternum strap with a nice magnetic buckle to help distribute the weight. And then at the bottom, you have some good strap management here to prevent these straps from looking too messy. Really great loops here to adjust the straps whenever you need to. Haven't noticed any issues with slippage on the buckles, which I know has been an issue with some Bellroy bags in the past. So great to see that here. It's worked well for me so far. And then moving into the back paneling, this has felt really nice. This padding feels very robust, well distributed all throughout, super soft. Again, like the one I mentioned on the straps, almost gel-like, but even more so. So this has felt fantastic. Also a good bit of elevation here to create this air channel to provide you with airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. And then you also have a luggage pass-through that's been included here. This is a newer feature on many Bellroy bags, which is great to see this coming out. And I like the orientation on this so that you can vertically rest your bag on your suitcase when you're traveling, so that you can save some weight on your shoulders and also access the laptop area. So great implementation here. One thing I did notice is that this doesn't stretch too much, which is great for keeping the bag securely on your roller bag. But if you have a bigger handle, it might be a little bit of a tight fit. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a nice variety of pockets all throughout. Starting off at the top, you have an excellent quick access pocket, well protected zipper here, and I absolutely love the implementation of this section. As I mentioned in the review that I did for the Venture Ready pack, which has a similar style pocket, I think this is super useful. I actually like the divider and the fact that this is separated into two separate compartments. They each have a good bit of volume, so it'll be able to handle something bulky like my sunglasses case that slides in there very easily. And then on the inside of one of these pockets, you have an additional slip pocket with an elastic mesh here, so you can store, anything that you might want to there, portable battery, your phone, some cables. And then on the other side, again, nice bit of space for anything that you want floating. I just have a charging cable for my phone and my tablet. I also tossed in my AirPods. And then on this side, you have a couple of smaller slots for something like a pen. And then I also have a flashlight. And then on one side of the bag, you have a zippered pocket that's meant to work as a water bottle compartment. It's got this nice protective area here for the zipper. And then you open this up, and this will be able to hold a 20-ounce water bottle pretty comfortably. That's what I have in here at the moment, one of the ones that I use regularly. You can maybe squeeze something a little bit larger into here, but this material isn't super elastic, and so as you place a larger item, I can imagine it would be pressing into some of the stuff in the main area. Right now I have the main compartment loaded out, and I'm still able to get this water bottle in and out comfortably, which is why I like this size. And then, I actually really like the fact that this is a zippered pocket versus just a standard water bottle pocket, because then it works well for other accessories. If I wanted to toss in some pouches, some charging cables, an umbrella, there's just more variety with what I can store here. It's gonna be protected, but then I can also use it for a water bottle if I'm carrying one of those. On the other side of the bag, you have an additional zippered pocket. Again, pretty tall zipper, so it's going to be a compartment that can hold things like pouches. I have my Tom Bin Ghost Wheel pouch in there at the moment, and I also have the Sandmark headlamp that I've been carrying lately. Just toss that in there in case I need to grab it quickly. And on the inside of this compartment, you have a little lanyard with a clip that's going to be a great spot for your keys or a multi-tool. And then underneath the top quick access pocket that we looked at earlier, there is an additional hidden zippered pocket, so you have an extra area to store items. But this is also meant to house what I think is a really cool idea that Bellroy included here. There is a packable tote bag that is included with the bag. It folds up very small and can be placed into this compartment. So this is going to be an excellent accessory if you're traveling and you happen to pick up some extra stuff, or you have a day around the town, you want something to use as maybe a grocery bag, a beach bag. I'm not always the biggest fan of tote bags, but I do recognize how functional they can be when you're traveling. I have started to carry one with me because they pack down so small, but they can hold an impressive amount. And so, this is a pretty standard tote bag. You have some nice kind of handles to be able to hold it. It's got a zipper, so you can properly close it, which is really nice. And then, nice amount of space here. I believe it's about a 15-liter tote bag. Feels super lightweight. And then one of the cool things about this in particular is that it comes with attachment points, so you can actually mount this onto the back of the backpack. So if you fill this up and you don't want to carry both things, you attach it, and then you have kind of a little 2-bag system, but then you can also carry this at your side or leave your bag in the hotel if you want to keep it with all your travel stuff. So just a really cool idea. I love how easy it is to just pack this away, super light. And then if you don't want to use the tote bag, you just have a cool extra area to, kind of store some additional items. And then moving into the main compartment, this is pretty much a clamshell style bag, so it will open flat for easier packing, but you can use it as kind of a top loader if you don't unzip it all the way, particularly with the aqua guards. The zippers won't open too easily, and so I like just reaching down and grabbing some of the items that I'm using more regularly, like the headphones that you see here. And one thing about this bag is that it does not have a dedicated laptop area, which I'm generally a fan of, but with the way that this is implemented here, it so far has still been really easy to actually reach down and grab my laptop when I've needed to, when I place the bag down next to me, for traveling, if I'm resting this on my luggage. It hasn't been as much of a pain as some of the other compartments that I've used where the laptop is integrated and you have everything just kind of in the way. This actually comes up enough. You can reach down, grab it. We'll take a closer look at the laptop sleeve in a second, but I just wanted to mention that right here since I still have the bag full and I'm showing it as a top loader. But I'll go ahead and open it all the way so it doesn't come all the way down, but still pretty flat, and I think that it works very, very well. And then you have a pretty open layout here, which is going to work well for my typical loadout. So at the top I have my Beats Studio wireless headphones. I got the newest edition, so the case is a little different, which I really like. And then I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1 liter. I have the Alpaca admin pouch, and then I have the Lockbee pouch that I've been using recently, wax canvas. And then the last thing that I have here is the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 2 liters. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. It's a pretty simple and open layout. You do have this compression strap on the back. Given that this is a travel bag, it's got the magnetic closure, and you can use this to kind of hold stuff in place. In general, I'm not a huge fan of these. I don't tend to use them very much, so I would have preferred to have just left that off to keep the bag a little bit cleaner. But I suppose if you don't have kind of a really set way of packing, it could be helpful, and it manages to mostly stay out of the way when it's not in use. For me, I was able to kind of stick to my typical packing cube setup. If I wanted to use this as a minimal travel bag, I was able to place the larger compressible cube, an extra pair of shoes, my DOP kit, and I'd be ready to go for a longer weekend trip. And then on the inside here, you have an additional zippered mesh pocket, which is going to be, just an extra spot to store some accessories. You have some good volume here. At the moment, I just have a retractable HDMI cable, and I have a nail clipper set as well as an additional USB-C cable. But, there was more than enough space for other things here. I mean, this is pretty tall. You could definitely place some toiletries in there, other tech accessories. I really like the mesh that's used here. And then on the other side, you can see the water bottle pocket that I was showing earlier and get a sense of how much it would come in when it's actually full. And then one really nice touch from Bellroy here is that you have this tag that also doubles as a place to store an air tag. So that's really cool how it's just kind of out of the way, very subtle. It won't be something that's easily found, and it will just give you some extra security while you're on the go. And then on the back of this main compartment, you have 2 sleeves, one that's gonna be great for an iPad or maybe some documents, a notebook. This has a nice amount of padding. It's not just the standard slip pocket, which is really great. I was able to fit my iPad mini in here with a case very comfortably, but if you have a full-size tablet, that should also work well. And then on the back, you have the laptop sleeve. You have a nice amount of padding on the back, and then the sleeve itself has some rigidity and will give you protection. It's also pulled up off the bottom of the ground. Bellroy always does such a great job with their laptop compartment, so great to see that here. And then, this will be able to hold 15 or 16-inch laptop pretty comfortably. Currently, I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro, but you can see there's plenty of leftover space here, and so pulling my device out, Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. This does come up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in there pretty well, but with the amount of padding that's offered here, and the fact that it's pulled up off the bottom of the ground, it really feels like my device is going to be very well protected while I'm on the go. And then on the lid for this main compartment, you have two additional zippered pockets. Same sort of mesh that we've seen in some of the other areas of the bag, so really elastic, high quality, you can kind of see through it, and this will be great for storing other kind of bulkier accessories that you don't have in another area of the bag. So at the moment, I'm using this to store my USB-C hub, some cables. Always love having this when I'm on the go to give myself some extra ports. And then above that, you have a slightly smaller zippered pocket, still with the same elastic mesh that'll be able to handle a variety of items. At the moment, I have my Apple Magic Mouse in there, as well as the Field Notes notebook, so it has the height for that to fit in there pretty comfortably. But a cool thing about this area is on the back, you also have an RFID protected passport area, or if you want to store your wallet, credit cards, it's just going to give you some additional peace of mind. And then this is kind of a rigid divider here, so kind of great to see some of those travel focused touches. So really like the layout and the amount of space offered in this main area. I really loved using the previous iteration of the Venture Ready pack, so great to see Bellroy iterating on it and also bringing in some more travel focused features. And if you're looking for a sleek, durable, kind of all-purpose bag that's going to keep your tech organized and protected, and this is going to be a fantastic option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the 26-liter Venture Travel Pack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on Bellroy's site, coming in at a little over $300. So definitely premium pricing on this one. This is one of the more expensive Bellroy bags that I've had a chance to test out. And it does feel like a very solidly built bag. It's got a really great feature set, especially with the fact that it also includes that additional tote bag. There's definitely a lot of value that you're going to be getting for that price point, but there's also going to be some other really great options in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, this definitely reminded me of some of the other great options in Bellroy's lineup, particularly the Transit line, which I really loved using over the past couple of years. The Transit Work Pack in particular is one of my favorite work and EDC backpacks. Just got a really subdued, interesting aesthetic, clamshell style opening. Even at 20 liters, it is able to hold an impressive amount. It's got one of the best laptop compartments on the market, so suspended, well padded, and then just really nice, thoughtful organization all around the bag that doesn't go overboard. It's a comfortable bag to wear, and if you're looking for just a really great clamshell style EDC backpack, that's gonna be one of the best options to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Patagonia Refugio backpack, which is offered in a 26 liter and a 30 liter size. I'm a big fan of the 26 liter version. That size just feels like it works quite well for a personal item that you can place under the seat in front of you while still offering plenty of capacity for your day-to-day. Because it has such a simple layout, it's able to hold a lot without looking really big. It's just got a quick access pocket on the front, a main area. And then one of the interesting things about that one is that it has a removable laptop sleeve that's included with the bag that also has an additional organizational pocket. So like this one, it's got, kind of that unique aspect of having an accessory that you can pull out when you don't want to use it, if you're just going on a hike, if you want to save some weight. So pretty interesting idea there, not for everybody, but if that's the type of thing that you're looking for, or you want just a durable bag that's going to come in at a little bit of a lower price point, then that's going to be a great option to keep in mind. Another bag this made me think of is the GoRuck GR2. The 26 liter edition in particular is one of my go-tos for minimal travel. That one has a really great organizational layout. The dual clamshell compartments give you a lot of flexibility with how you can lay out your stuff. Good pocketing throughout, especially with the addition of the quick access pocket at the top. It also has a dedicated, well-padded laptop compartment. Really comfortable harness system. It's offered in a couple of different fabrics and colors. I've most recently really been liking the Ripstop collection, as it feels weather resistant, a little bit more lightweight and flexible than some of the other fabrics, but any of the ones that are available for the GR2 are going to be really great to consider. And if you have a little bit of a higher budget and you're looking for something very rugged and flexible for your EDC or travel, and that's going to be an excellent option to keep in mind. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Evergood CTB26, which I talk about a lot on the channel as it's one of my all-time favorites. I absolutely love the organizational layout of that bag. Just really great pocketing that's very intuitive to use. Quick access pockets, great laptop compartment that's suspended, well padded. It's got a comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, really solid build quality. The 26 liter size works really great for everyday carry or minimal travel. It does feel quite different as far as the silhouette than this one. Even though they're both 26 liters, that's definitely one of the ones that makes me rethink how companies calculate volumes. So even though they're listed at a pretty similar size, the CTB 26 is definitely going to feel bulkier and wider. Evergoods did release the CTB 20, which they're going to be doing a restock for at some point later this year, so I'll be keeping an eye out for that. But the 26 liter size is still kind of my go-to for minimal travel. And you know, it's just a really versatile all-purpose bag. It's going to work great in the outdoors, in an urban setting. And so if you're looking for something with a very functional organizational layout and you're a fan of Evergoods' really subdued aesthetic, and that's going to be one of the best options that you can take a look at. With that being said, the Venture Travel Pack holds up really well against all those options and has quickly become one of my favorite new bags of the year. And if you have a little bit of a higher budget and you're looking for something that can work well as an everyday carry bag, minimal travel bag that's going to offer tons of weather resistance and a really useful organizational layout, and this is going to be an excellent option to consider. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Venture Travel Pack and how it compares to some of the other popular minimal travel and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Bellroy for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.